Welcome to Thoughts in the Glass podcast. I'm Latoya.
And I'm Kendra.
And this is a weekly podcast where we share our unfiltered thoughts and opinions on a variety of topics.
So sit back, relax, grab your favorite drink, and join us on a conversation of real, raw, and ridiculously funny commentary.
Period. Every week we do a drink of the night. So to close out the month of January, we're doing our last mocktail. Kendra, what is the drink tonight?
So tonight's drink is a Hibiscus Kiss Mocktail. Super easy to make. Probably need some alcohol after the week we done all had. But you use 3 ounces of hibiscus tea, brewed and then chilled, 2 ounces of pineapple juice, half an ounce of lemon juice, and then a little, as much simple syrup as your heart desires. It's like a half of a half, and then you add mint and lemon as a garnish.
Cheers. It's good. I feel like at the end of the day,
a mocktail is just a whole bunch of juices.
It just be juice. It just be fancy juice. Like,
tasting good.
It just be fancy juice. But I guess you're trying to feel like you're doing something.
Yeah. Because you might be out, it's for a social event, and everybody else is having a cocktail, and you don't want to feel like I'm just drinking water.
Yeah.
A little Coke or Pepsi. Okay, let's get into it. I'm going to talk about it one good time, and this is it. Because the season over.
For most of us.
The Redskins, the Commanders did their big one.
They did.
The Cinderella story is over, but this just shows how dedication, working together, allowing the team to grow together for, this very first season, get to know each other, getting the kinks out. Just if this is what they could do just starting, let them boys cook. Let them simmer a little bit. Let them work together. Let them take more time, because now they can see that. I think that they can see where they can go, how they can move, and I think they're going to build much more trust with each other. I think they did that as the season went on, and that's why they were winning more games. I think the comfortability came there, so it's going to be up for them.
I would say I'm not a hater. I'm definitely a Dallas Cowboy fan, so I wasn't necessarily rooting for the Commanders, but I respect it. I respect it. I respect the hustle. They came a long way.
Yes.
And they did their thing.
They did.
I also think, aren't you under new ownership?
Yes.
So I think that has a lot to do with it. Like, I think these old owners, like Jerry Jones, the older owners, they got their hand in the pot, and that doesn't work. Yeah. It's not working. Yeah. And I guess for them it's a money thing. They don't care. But I noticed that the teams that either are under new ownership or they have owners that don't really get involved as much, they seem to flourish. And so that, to me, that was my big takeaway. Yeah. It's like, interesting, because it's not that most of the teams, it's not that they're at a shortage of talented players. Yeah. It, to me, is the politics. Like, why are people getting involved that ain't on the field? Yeah. Yeah. So, congratulations to the Redskins for making it as far as y'all did.
We have not been to the NFC Championships in 33 years.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So, for this to be a lot of, he's a rookie. For him to have taken us this far, it's only up as long as they allow these young men to cultivate with each other.
Yeah, that's what's up. Hey, like I said, I'm not a hater. Congratulations. We'll see what happens next year. I probably won't watch most of football again. Like, I don't even really be watching it for real.
I wasn't either, but I was just like, and then it gives me anxiety because the thing is, you're so used to them. But not they were terrible, but just weren't going. You just used to them being a fan of the sport, and but then when they start winning and it gets your hopes up, it gives me the anxiety that I don't need. I got enough for the next 4 years. I got plenty of fucking anxiety.
So how are you feeling about the Eagles and the Chiefs? Weren't they?
I'm over
Didn't
them.
they do that last year?
I'm over them. They did it last year and the year before last. When I say that I'm over them.
I mean, there's something to be said about that. Like, obviously, they have a formula.
But this is the thing. I don't even know if it's necessarily that, because from what, and again, I'm not watching, so the only thing I'm getting is conversations from social media. The commentary from the people that also are not on the field.
Mm-hmm.
But the Chiefs get, like, the, whatever that little boy name is. Mahomes. He gets, I mean, I know a little something.
Listen, we said we don't be watching. Y'all know what I meant.
They'll call stuff just because somebody touched him. Like,
Deion Sanders?
No, the white guy. Was he with the Cowboys?
I know he's talking about.
Yeah,
Tony Romo.
Yes, anytime something, they calling it. Everything is a call. Everything.
Yes, he was.
But it's the same ordeal, right? And so I feel like on that side, I just allowing shit to kind of. I mean, he could be a good player all day, but then I also feel like there's some politics happening.
Definitely.
With the Eagles, I'm like, y'all just beat them.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all just not just beat them, y'all just beat the brakes off of them, right? So I can understand the I need to get back and how they went so overboard with a coffin and all this other stuff. Like, y'all Eagles fan, y'all did a lot, and I guess when it matters, y'all won, but you also got the brakes beat off of you. Let's relax. Everybody says this. Eagles fans do too much.
They do.
They really do too much for for none of y'all to be getting paid.
Right. They do a lot.
And I know because, and then with the level in which they win, y'all not getting that much return on your bets.
Right.
So what are we talking about?
Right.
We'll see who wins in the Super Bowl.
Honestly, though, I kind of want the Eagles to win. Like, no. I don't want the Chiefs to win.
I don't want, you know what, I only want the Chiefs to win so that so even if
they need to be humble,
they need to be on the humble train, eating humble pie alone.
Okay, but I mean, they an East Coast team, so like, I'll say this: I was not rooting for the Commanders this past game, but if they would have went to the Super Bowl, I would have rooted for them. Yeah. Because I feel like once we get to that level, at this point...
No, their fanfare is fucking trash, bro. I don't like them. I don't. I do not. Like, they are... It's so unnecessary. And I say this because I went to a game, and it was at home, it was a Commanders and Eagles game. And it was these girls, and it was unnecessary. Like, we all having a good time. Anytime they got a touchdown, it wasn't a whole bunch of this, that, and the fourth. We get a touchdown, we cheer, we at home. They're like, whatever. I'm like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Like, all of that's not necessary because you feeling a certain kind of way. They end up winning the game, but then you want to talk shit only when you up. If you're not a real fan. Because you would have did that the whole time. Like, you quiet, and then you get mad when somebody's celebrating their team, but then you want the same... Like, shut up.
Yeah, it is weird. I do think people are weirdly, like, connected to their sports teams.
It's crazy.
In a way that, like, you would be willing to, like, go to jail over somebody saying something. Like, you getting in somebody's face because they said something. But it's like, dog, this is a football
when they
team
finish,
that you're not
they're going to
shake
shake their hands. They're all going to get their paychecks. And they're all going to go home.
Right.
Or go out and have a beer. Go do whatever they're going to do.
I agree. Like, I'm not about to fuss and argue with you and get my blood pressure all up and be all in your face about a team that I don't fucking play for, that don't pay my bills. If anything,
they don't even know I exist.
The Dallas Cowboys have taken more money from me than they've ever given me. And I ain't never bet on them, so I ain't never won no money off them. So, yeah, I do think it's kind of unhealthy the way people act.
It's ludicrous, but anyway.
Concerning that, but yeah. Moving on.
So,
other than the game Sunday, how was your week?
It was terrible. Trump is up in here getting rid of everything.
Oh, you know what? I have not been really paying attention. Like, last week, I got so... I'm not going to say depressed, but like... it was just the mood, the energy in the office was so low because of all the shit going on. Like, you know, they was taking down the DEI or the different posters for the different groups and stuff like that. Like, the mood was just so low. So this week I've had the TV on the cooking channel, HGTV. I've had it on ESPN.
Oh, I don't even.
So if anything happened this week, y'all, I don't know about it.
So the only
because I ain't been watching the news.
No other executive orders have come out except the ones that he's had. But the things that's correct, like so now that the ICE can go in. Look, the ICE now ICE can go into schools and churches.
Mm-hmm.
EEO for the federal government is gone.
Mm-hmm.
The DEIA is for the government, and then all of these stores, right? So Target,
Mm-hmm.
you have Walmart, who you already knew.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you who on a big one. Big Costco said, "Nah, we keeping ours."
Yeah, I've heard.
And Reverend Sharpton was up in the Costco.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a whole. So I did screenshot. Like I'm gonna try my best to be smart about how I'm spending my money. Like I know that I can't just avoid everybody that put money towards the Republican candidates. However, I'm going to be purposeful in how I'm doing stuff. Like I'm not just gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna just go run the kids and get them some McDonald's. I'm gonna go to Costco and get nuggets. I'm going to go get the fries. I'm going to go make my own fry. I'm going to do what I'm just going to have to take the extra steps to keep my black dollars between either in my pockets or with black companies and operate in that space and put my money where I know that when those employees are there, they're also being treated, because that's also what it's about. Like, yes, they're like, you know, as a consumer, you want to see yourself represented, but the biggest part of the DEIA is so that those employees are treated the right way, that they're also hired, that they're also being promoted. It's about the employment of those, you know, people, and people still got to work.
And I think the misconception is that diversity and inclusion just means people of color, right? But it doesn't mean that.
No,
it means women. It's being veterans. Disabled. It means veterans. Women, like you said, sexual orientation. And I don't know, we'll see what Target does, but like Black History Month is coming up. So like, are y'all still going to do y'all Black History thing? Are y'all still going to do the Pride thing? Like, because those were things that y'all were doing to get people to shop with you.
Yes.
If you're not going to do that, it's almost like, did you learn your lesson?
No.
You started doing all of this stuff because you wanted to get people back shopping with you. And now you're like, wow, we're not going to do it now. So people are not going to shop with you. Like, do you want to make money or not? Like, I'm confused.
So the problem is, this is the bubble that we live in, right? We are, especially people on the Upper East Coast, especially larger cities, right? We see each other. We're in this liberal bubble of let's get it together. It's just like the North and the South when they were going through the Civil War. It's the same difference, right? Like, we see the benefits of inclusion. We see the benefits of this. If that's not something that you see a benefit of, Alabama ain't never had DEIA. Right? South Georgia, where I have family, it's still going to be the same. Like, those southern states, it's not going to change. And if you look at that map, we as a collective are a very small portion of the people who are putting money in places, right? Yes, we all go to Walmart, but when you go down south, you don't see as many Targets. You see a bunch of Walmarts. You go over into, you know, the Colorados and things like that. They're going to have the super Walmarts. You may see a Target here, but that's going to be their main grocery store, place to get all of their items or whatever. You will see a Sam's Club. You won't probably see a BJ's. You probably won't see a Costco. So the places in these rural areas, they are going with their consumers. We have to be realistic, and yes, this is where it's going to hurt the people here, right? Because that Target that closed, most people that's working in that Target are black people, right? So now they're out of a job. Excuse me. If you're not going to I don't go to Walmart and I see the majority, like, Caucasians are minorities here in some of these working class areas, like not working class, but working, like the stores or the McDonald's or you're either going to see Hispanics, you're going to see young black kids trying to at least trying to get something because they can't afford to go to college, or they're in college and they're trying to have some kind of financials to get through college, eat, because their parents can maybe only pay tuition, but they still need room and board. They still need such and such. So we also have to be conscientious of making sure that we don't, okay, I'm gonna just boycott everything. But this is the difference, and I want people to understand, when they did the boycotting of the buses, they also had people that said, okay, we're going to carpool. Like, they helped each other. You can't say, okay, I'm not spending my money here, and if you're here, I'm not going to, help, like, be there for you. If you're in Target, you just going to lose out on that money. Like, I think I was listening on TikTok, and this one girl said an analogy, and to me, it was so small-minded, and you're taking it out of context and trying to put a heavier context on it than it is. But she was like, that's like because Auntie Tab put out a statement basically saying, if you don't see yourself shopping at Target anymore, don't want to do it anymore, I understand that. But if you still want to support me and my things are still in Target, just be conscientious of where you put your money. So I'm going to still buy her things. I'm going to still go there and get a Miracle Drop stuff. I'm going to still go there and patron black people's things because that's important. Especially because whatever don't sell, somebody got to get their money back. They're not going to just give the products away, right? So until it's no longer there, be in there and getting it, right? And so that, yes, that person might be making money, but in the back end, somebody else is also until she can have her own online business, until she can do certain things. No one is saying, okay, well, I'm starting a shop, I'll give you the thing. Costco can't just say, okay, I'm going to buy you out your contract. There are other things behind it, and I hate that as a people, we can't see any further than the headlights in front of us. Like, put on the high beams, because it's a lot more going on than you can just see with these low beams on. So that's very irritating to me, and people that just be out here on the internet. And I hate that sometimes the internet can be a great place and the worst place at the same time, because people just out here running their mouth, and sometimes you need to just shut the hell up.
I totally agree.
So what are your thoughts on how are you going to start? Are you going to change how you move? Are you still going to the Target? Are you still going to the Starbucks?
I think what you said, although I kind of already do this, but I definitely think I'm going to be more conscientious looking for like black producers of things, black creators of things, even if that is in Target. So I wonder what they're going to do for Black History Month, because they normally highlight black designers and things like that, and they put those products to the forefront. So
right now, everything on sale, all black hair products in Target.
Oh, really?
30% off. Makeup brands.
So I'm curious. I'm curious as to why they're doing that, because normally when you put something on sale is because you're trying to bring in a clientele. So I wonder if it's that, hey, all the y'all stuff on sale, we don't want to lose you as a customer. We want you to come in and shop with us.
It could be that, and it could be, okay, we can get all this stuff off the shelves.
Oh, we're trying to divest this stuff off the shelves. I mean, but I have a hard time thinking that that's the case, because as we know, black people are one of the highest demographics for consumerism. So if I'm Target, I definitely don't want to lose that black dollar, because one thing they're going to do is spend money.
Let me tell you the fact that people aren't smart. Unfortunately, as we saw with this election, people will cut off their nose to spite their face. This is not going to benefit me, but I'm just going, because it's the closest, it's very uncomfortable to set myself aside and realize that this is something bigger than me. No, I'm still a white person, and I feel like I still should have my white privilege. Because I feel like that's a little bit of them thinking something is slipping away. I really don't believe any of this is about us. The DEIA stuff, it mostly helped white women.
Yeah.
Right? And this was a thought, and this could just be a passing thought, but someone put out on the internet, and it's a little something to think about. They keep talking about how they want more white children. There are more white women in the workforce. You stop having them in the workforce.
Oh, so they can stay home and have babies and they can't abort them because they get rid of abortion laws. I mean, I could see that line of thinking.
Get them back home so that then they also need a man to help to provide. When you have a man, there comes babies.
The thing about that is you just underestimate people in general.
They do that every day. They underestimate us all the time.
I don't know. It's hard for me to think that those that have this diabolical plan of, oh, we're gonna get you back at home so you can have babies. It's hard for me to accept that y'all are thinking on that high of a level, but then underestimating how most of the time women will go above and beyond to assert our independence. Because when you think about it, the fastest growing demographic of entrepreneurs is black women. Right after black women is women, period.
But this is the problem.
So it's like, you kick us out the workforce, we're just going to start businesses.
But the businesses, you also need banking. You need all of the, like, to start, like, for example, in the government, part of the DEIA is to have women-owned companies. Mm-hmm. Those were the ones that were getting the contracts. Like, you would get these things. You could start a business, but starting a business also means you need investors.
Right.
It also means you need this. So if they're saying, oh, you have this business and this white man has this business, I now can just go with the white guy.
Yeah, but I just still think, and maybe I'm giving people too much credit, but I still think that's underestimating people in general, because even if they do that, right? Mm-hmm. And even if women are not working together like they can and should, there's still gonna be the economy, and they have to understand this. The economy is gonna collapse because it can't support the idea of we're only going to go with large corporations to do everything. Because what you have is a problem that we've seen. Okay, we're not going to use any contractors. Mm-hmm. We're only going to have government employees doing this work. Mm-hmm. But guess what? You don't have enough, or they're not qualified, or you can't fill the position. So what do? You go and hire contractors. But then you go to CACI to say, hey, can you fill this requirement? And CACI is like, sure, we could fill the requirement. But then CACI looks at their list and they say, damn, we don't have enough people. So then CACI has to go to the smaller company and say, hey, can you fill this requirement? Okay, so the point I'm making is, as we go down the line, it's naive to think that all of these companies are going to be male-owned, male-operated. None of these are going to have minorities. None of these are going to be run by minorities.
So I think that you're giving it more benefit of the doubt-ish, right? So you have a mask of who's doing what, right? Mm-hmm. So that's going to then be the thing. Okay, so DEIA was saying,
you didn't have to have that mask.
I have LaToya's company and I have this person's company. Okay, we've hired 5 white companies, and she also still qualifies with them. So now it's like, okay, you can't just look at I just would prefer this. This is you can't just use preference. Right. Now you have to look at everybody's stuff, right? Yeah. Without DEIA, I could just do preference. Without EEO, I can just do what I want. I could just say what I want. Or I don't like the way she looks, or I don't like the way she's saying this, or I can say certain things, I can do certain things.
I have to look into that a little bit more, because just because we don't have DEIA and EEO, the discrimination categories are still federally protected. Meaning that if you discriminate against me, I could still sue you. I may not have EEO that I can work with to accomplish that goal, but it's still a federally protected category.
Yes, everything is federally protected. We as people are federally protected, right? But if you don't have the resource for people to back you,
basically they saying fight it on your own.
And that's what we were dealing with. So when you were fighting things on your own, what was getting accomplished? Right. You know what I'm saying? So you had these had EEOs to say, okay, no, this is the guidelines. This is what you should be doing. When you don't have guidelines, there's something that's protected, but it's like,
basically sue me.
Sue me. What you
I'm gonna do what I want to do,
and you dealing
until
with,
you bring me in front of a court.
You dealing with now somebody with 5 lawyers and you by yourself,
Yeah,
trying to go against what he may or may not say.
Mm-hmm.
Or now you're a black woman or a woman, person of color, minority, going against a white man, or a white man who is a little bit more liberal going somebody that's very much so more conservative.
And you know what I think about this? Because it's kind of like, okay, what do we do? But I think the thing is this. It's a rock and a hard place, because as black women, we've kind of already said, this don't really affect us. We've been fighting. We've been having to scrape. We've been having to go above and beyond.
Yep.
We've been having to find loopholes and do things to overcome these barriers, right? But this is not necessarily the future that we saw for our kid, the next generation, right? So it's a rock and a hard place, because we can sit back and not do nothing and kind of let everybody feel this pain, which progresses that agenda, progresses it kind of takes us back, right? Or we can get up, we can rally up and say, no, we're not going for this. We're going to protest, blah, blah, whatever, right? Yeah. But then it's hard, because it's like, when we do that, we don't get a return on our investment. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, do you just let things move backwards and let the country go in a direction that you don't agree with?
So it is. It's very much so a very hard decision, because how much can you continue to give?
Right.
We've given so much of ourselves for 500 years.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And it's time for us to, y'all fight this battle, because we've already been fighting.
Or not.
But meaning we've been fighting the war.
I'm saying, you saying y'all fight this battle, but I'm saying, what if they don't? What if everybody else? What if all these other people, the veterans, the white women, the other people of color, the disabled people? What if they just sit and take, bend over and take it?
And this is why I feel like, and I'm saying this in a place of my own type of privilege, where I always tell people, this whole thing is a game. They can change the rules. It may cause you to stumble a little bit. Learn the rules and get back in the game. You can't say, oh, that's not fair, and sit there and wait for them to change the rules to accommodate you. What they do? Oh, they in the stocks? Now you can't say you don't know about them. Find a book, read about it. Oh, there's holistic books. Let me figure out how to get me and start juicing. And okay, everything is on YouTube. Let me start learning how to have a garden. Whatever you can do to start giving yourself a leg up to be a little bit more self-sufficient, do that. If that means, hey, let's get a group of people together. It's 4 or 5 single mothers. Let's find us a duplex. And that way we can all protect ourselves. We can watch these kids with each other. Oh, you work a night shift? All right, I got them during the daytime. However you need to work it, I think that black people definitely, this is a wake-up call. Get yourself, we need to come back together and really hone in on, hey, we gonna look out for each other. Next 4, not even just these next 4 years. You see how quickly the world can change, and a sister girl over here that wants to be, oh, you're just, I just love your hair. I just love how you guys do things. I just want to be such a part of your culture. I appreciate your culture. How quickly they will, but I'm not going to do that. So now it's as we said before, everybody can't come to the cookout.
Yep.
And y'all keep trying to say, oh, they cool, they can come to the cookout. No. Because sometimes I don't even want to go to, we not invited to the bar mitzvahs.
Right. Yeah, it's sad too. It's sad because I actually am not that hard up. You know what I mean? I actually have quite a few white associates and people who I would say have helped me along the way, personally, in my career, etc. So like, it's not to the point where like I just don't like them, whatever. But I do agree with you. Even me, who have close connections with a lot of Caucasian people, would say like certain things just ain't for you. Certain things just is not for you, and we could be cool and we could be friends, and I appreciate you for helping me, but at a certain point, the same way they would, I have to put myself and my community first. And that ain't no shade to nobody else.
No, it should be in a space of just as much as somebody that looks like you is going to help you because they want to be there for their people. The Jewish people do it. Hispanics, they stick together. One come over, they bring the next. Everybody that's especially trying to come from somewhere else, everybody's sticking together. We got to do better. This shows me that we have to do better, and I know we got a few, and that just because they skin folk ain't kin folk, and we know that's cool.
But I also think too, we let petty shit get in the way. Like, I feel like it's not that hard to be unified, but we're so busy splitting hairs that we can't get together on one thing.
Yeah.
Granted, I feel like we did get together on this, but just take the Kamala Harris thing for example. You had people saying like, oh, she was in California doing this, doing that, whatever. Okay, y'all. Okay. Like, no candidate is perfect. Right. But if we all can unify and say, even though we may not like every single thing about this candidate, I'm unifying with my community and we're going to back this person. We're going to support this person. That goes a long way. But when you're so busy splitting hairs, you end up not being able to make any progress at all. Right? And I think that's the issue.
Is what we are called on a regular basis.
That's the issue there.
The problem is, even you can take Kamala Harris out of it. Let it be one black woman doing better than another. Yeah. It's a problem. So this has been ingrained in us since slavery, since the light-skinned women in the house and the it's already been a thing. So there needs to be as we keep every time something negative happens. Oh, we need some healing. We need some like. At this point, it needs to happen. And, I don't know. But I will tell you, I have promised myself that I'm not going to get myself all riled up. Because I'm like, I don't have 4 years to put this heaviness on my heart. Like,
absolutely.
I need to still go on vacation. I need to still have a good time. But I am having those conversations with my kids like it ain't what it used to be.
Yeah. And I really do hope and I pray that our society shows up. You know what I mean? Like I'm not betting on it, but there's a part of me that's like, maybe all of this will cause everybody to be like, you know what? No, we need to fight for something. Because I often think about that Korean president and how all them people, they rioted and they got that man to step down.
No, baby. He's locked up.
Okay.
Indicted and locked up. Warrant out for your arrest. Him and his entire cabinet. Everybody. So
I often think about that, how they came together and was able to accomplish that.
They said, Marshall, what? Oh, okay. They said, we will not go back to work until he gone.
And so it kind of, to me, it's an example of, while the government may have this illusion that they control everything, they really don't.
But the problem is, and this is the conversation that we were having one of my homegirls. The problem with the whole thing is there are people who are happy with it.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're split as a country. Some people do agree with this and they want this.
That are dancing in the street. Mm-hmm. So you can't, that affected them in a space where you can have, and he said this years ago, I can shoot a man in the middle of Times Square and Republicans is not going to blink an eye. Mm. And he's right. And he said, because he was a Democrat his entire career, life, because I don't know what he was doing. And he said, if I ever ran, I'm going to run with Republican because they're not smart. One thing he ain't a fool.
Yeah.
he's a fool, but he's not a fool.
Yeah.
And you just, it's a mess. But I tell you, I'm glad that I'm in the place that I am financially. I'm glad that I had my parents have done and shown us some things to be able to get stocks. And I mean, one thing it says is qualified.
Yeah.
I know the thing 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we gonna be all right, y'all. Just don't. This was the wrong look. This is the wrong end of the week to be month to be having some mocktails. Because let me tell you what,
I know, right? Well, I thought about that. I was like, everybody doing dry January. We need a drink in January.
A swimming pool. You hear me? Of cocktails.
A pool full of liquor and we died.
Big dive in it. God damn. Jesus.
All right.
But
so
anyway, moving
going
on. What else? So, okay. I know. So, we have a few things. So, if this is going to also roll into next week. So, it's going to be some stuff.
Okay.
Because we got some stuff to talk.
Okay.
Okay. Some things. Listen, January said, you want to be dry drinking? Cool. We got a whole lot of other shit to talk to you about. Okay. Daggone. So, I know it's been all over the interweb.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about them. Today's conversation. When I say this has gone crazy,
it really has. I wasn't even.
You weren't clocking
it until you had mentioned it last week. So then I was like, well, let me see what's going on. And I should not have never done that.
The tea spilleth over. You hear me? The cup is full and it's spilling over.
How you look up one thing and the algorithm be like, oh, that's what you're interested in?
Let me tell you everything that happened all this time.
Let me get you caught up.
So tonight's conversation was started by Ace Metaphor.
Well, apparently the tea is it was started by Derek Jackson.
So I'll say this. Tonight's so I used to watch him.
Mm-hmm.
He had it where he was having, he would do like lives on his channel, and it was basically him, or he'll have like little posts about like what women should do, how they should be, like that kind of thing. Oh, now we all know what happened with Derek Jackson and his shenanigans. Yeah, because when they shenan, they gonna do what?
Shenanigans.
Hello. And so, but he had a conversation with Derek Jackson. Derek Jackson had an idea for the card game.
Right.
Derek Jackson didn't have as big of a following as Ace Metaphor. Then all the things happened with him. So he took that idea and put it towards having these people on. And then I think first it was just like a podcast or whatever. And then they ended up having a tour. So you had Keita Rose, Kitty Rose, Randy, Tipsy, the light skinned dude that just left. This other little short dude works on my nerves.
But Kitty came in later on because Keita was the only girl. It was her. It was Keita
her and Randy.
And it was
So when Kitty came, from what Keita is saying, she's saying that Kitty was like, "Oh, how you friends with her?" Like she was starting mess, right? And so then Randy ended up leaving. And then they were having issues with like money. They were like they should be getting paid more. It was just a lot of stuff. And so then Keita spilling all the business about Kitty and what she do with her kitty. Hello? And who she giving it to and letting it purple. How Ace Metaphor is out here dancing around with other women while he got a girlfriend.
Oh wow. I'm not surprised.
And said don't have not near type. You can have, as long as you can bounce, he gonna pounce. Hello? All right. So, I mean, just spilling all the beans. And I didn't, of course, watch, because then at the same day, Kitty and Ace Metaphor put out a statement at the same time and all this other stuff. So you could tell that they still cool and friends and da-da-da-da-da. It's just a lot going on.
She may be still in cahoots with him financially.
It's a lot going on. So this is all I'm going to say about this because I don't know all of the information. But what I said and what I say all the time, even for us, I mean, I'm going to tell you, we do give some good advice. We do have good conversation. And we are very much so, I think, truthful in how we do things. There are people who don't have you all's best interest at heart. And their best interest is their coin, right?
Absolutely.
And so what they're going to say is for shock value.
Absolutely.
What they're going to say is what you want to hear. What they're going to say is, this man just going to tell me how to get a man. It's the same thing with the young man that passed away.
Oh, Kevin Samuels.
Kevin Samuels. Shock factor. None of the... how are you going to tell me how to get married when you not married as a man and you are the one that does the proposing?
Although I don't really... I don't subscribe to that, because I feel, and this could be me projecting, but I feel like, as somebody who has not birthed a child, I still have something of value to offer from a standpoint of a parent. But I feel like if I go by that logic, then people could say to me, how you going to tell me about having a kid and you ain't never had one? Rightfully so, I've never had one, but I've I've been around women that have had kids, and I'm not going to speak on it from my own personal experience, but that doesn't mean that I don't have anything of value to offer. So I'm just saying that to say, even though he's not married, that doesn't mean he doesn't have anything of value to offer.
Well, I'll say this. For me, finding out all this stuff, if this is the truth, to me that you're offering, just like with Derek Jackson, you're offering information based on other people's stuff because it's not your real life.
True. This is why I'm not married. This is why I wouldn't marry somebody. So that's still helpful. You know what I mean?
Right, but you're not speaking of you're not saying that though. You're speaking of I'm a good man.
Oh, and
I'm this kind of man. This is the kind of values that I have. So you can come in and say, and somebody can say, well, you don't have kids, but you could also say, well, I help raise my siblings. I have a stepdaughter. Like, you may not have birthed anyone, but you have invested your life into raising other people. If you out here, you have a girlfriend, you're cheating on her, you're also messing with fans. You can't sit on the panel and tell me how to get a man like you. That doesn't make sense, because what you're saying is, oh, men like me want a woman that's this or want a woman like that. That's not the truth, though. Because
no,
the kind of woman that
you... it is the truth, but I think it could be true, but I think it's a misrepresentation of his personhood.
His character.
Yeah, because a lot of times, if you notice, like, when women come up talking about, you know, oh, I'm a side woman or this or that or whatever, if y'all really pay attention to Ace metaphor, he will say things sometimes to enable that. And I think it kind of all makes sense now, because you have received the benefits from somebody being a side piece to you. So he'll sit up there and say, like, oh, well, if you gonna be a side piece, then
know your place.
Yeah, know your place, and don't be going through his phone, or if his wife call, you need to be quiet. Like, he'll say stuff like that. To me, it makes sense that you're saying that, because you yourself
are benefiting from
that. You know what I mean? So I get what you're saying. Like, how you going to give me advice about how to get with somebody when you over here doing nefarious stuff? And I do agree with that. But I also think he purposely does that because he's trying to justify his own situation.
Yeah. No, I definitely, and then you know, said Kitty was out here spread. Look, what
and that's the part that bothers me, because I already had not beef, but I already was just, something about her turned me off.
She is, and this is what, you know, I hate it. Not that I hate a crying woman, because I can shed a tear, right? But I hate it just rubs me the wrong way when you could be out here reading somebody for fucking filth, but yet you crying because a man done hurt your fucking feelings.
Or the first time somebody says something negative to you, you want to be
your
so
lips
hurt.
Is quivering. Cut it out. And then the thing is, I'm a person that I'm gonna meet you where you at, right?
Yeah.
So if you out here and you are wearing very provocative clothes, but that's what you consider sexy, we're gonna have a real conversation about what I envision as sexy. Because there are men, like there are husbands that their wife, for example, she got the body for it, but there are men who look at Sierra and say, my wife would never.
Right.
Russell Wilson said, and come on home.
Right.
Because I'm about to tear it up.
Yeah.
Right? So for me to be like, oh no, she's, not God fearing. She got her man probably cheating on her, this, that, and the fourth, blah, blah, blah. Just because of my own experience and because of my own prejudices towards that, right? But then you talk about how you glad that a clip done shown up, how you talking about eating booty, and all the men that I'm glad I ain't said nothing because I could just let all these people know about these men out here. How many booties you in it? How many times you go to the grocery store?
You know what though? I would say what happens in the bedroom between you and whoever, that's between y'all. But then you can't come out here judging everybody else.
That's what I'm saying.
What they doing.
Right. Exactly. And that's what bothers me. You have so much. Well, I was trying to say this. I was trying to say that. Girl, cut it.
I would just get so irritated whenever I would see her clips circulating. And even if she was saying something that I agreed with, it was like,
it's because of the it's not even the, it's the deliverer.
Yeah, like I just couldn't get with it, right?
Yeah.
And I never understood why it was just something about her that I just didn't like. But Keita said the same thing in one of her lives. She was like, it was just always something about Kitty she couldn't get with. It was an energy that was weird. And I immediately identify with that. Now, I don't really care for Keita either. Because
she's very animated.
Yeah, I don't like all that loud talking and all that, like, I don't like all that obnoxiousness.
Yeah. And she said a lot of people have like, she put up a comment saying, like, it would be so much better if you weren't so animated and you trying to do your story time so that we can, she was like, this is just my, like, everything don't gotta be up here.
Well, actually, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, because that's her personality. That's her shtick. That's her thing. Everything is up here. She's super animated. You know what I'm saying? It kind of gives Kevin Hart, right? But her version of it. Yeah. But there is an audience for that.
Yes.
There's a group of people who are attracted to that. So I don't care about that. I just know it's not for me. Yeah. And so that's why I never really was able to, like, really get into her content like that. But when she said that though, and on her lives, she hasn't been, at least to me, I don't think she's been as animated on her lives. Maybe because she hurt. Maybe because she's just trying to, get her story out there or whatever. But her conversation on her lives has been much more like normal. And so I've been able to, like, listen to them. But when she said that, I definitely identified with that. I was like, yeah, it's always been something about Kitty that I just did not like. And for her to be, like, so godly and God-fearing and all this and that, I'm like, okay. Like, and so am I. It wasn't giving what it needed to give from me. And it never gave it. Yeah. And I'll listen to Megan Ashley before I would listen to Kitty. Like, that just really rubbed me the wrong way. And so I'm interested to see how this whole thing is going to pan out, how it's going to unfold, how Ace Metaphor is going to try to revamp himself. It's like to see kind of him go through the same cycle as all these other people who have come up pandering. You know what I mean? We saw Kevin Samuels go through the cycle. We saw Derek Jackson go through the cycle. They even talked about Tony Gaskins, who I kind of like him. But apparently some stuff happened with him back in the past. So to see all of these, mainly guys, but I'm sure some girls too, but to see all these guys kind of go through this cycle of you're pandering to women, you build this big platform, and then you have this crash. Right. It's like, y'all ain't learned from the last person.
Nope.
Everybody that comes through this pipeline thinks
Everything
that
happens the same way.
But each of them think that they're gonna be the exception. Like nobody thinks like, oh, let me not do this because I saw how it turned out for the guy before me and the guy before that and the guy before that.
Right.
I don't know. Also, you gotta listen to people with a grain of salt. Like
that's very true. That is very true.
Nobody is ever like 100%. Like we're all human. We all make mistakes.
Yeah. So that had the internet in a buzz.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. What else is going on? I'm sure that there's more tea to be spilled. But anyway, I know we haven't done Are We Here For It? I mean, not Are We Here For It? I'm sorry.
Am I the asshole?
Am I the asshole? And I know that we have one. Hold on 1 second.
I actually had that on for next week.
Oh, you do? Okay, so we'll talk about it next week, y'all. Yes, we will. All right, so what else is happening? Oh, I didn't talk about it. Little did really good at the track meet.
Oh, good.
A couple weeks ago, so that was cool. We did just move into, they've all got a new place. And, me and the kids are taking over. Because that's the kind of spirit we have. So we moved last week. Over the weekend. And then, what else? Now, girl, when I tell you I'm just waiting.
For what?
Biding my time to be flying to Miami.
Oh, you waiting for the trip. I gotta ask because I don't be knowing what you about to say out your mouth.
I know, I do say it. Sometimes I just be saying anything. Now I'm so excited.
They didn't have any topics worth talking about?
No, everything that we was already talking about.
Oh, okay.
Ain't nothing. Listen,
we
ain't
be
nothing.
on it.
We be listen.
But sometimes when they do have certain things, I be like, oh, I didn't know about that.
I know, and then we got to talk about it later.
Yeah.
Because now I got to see I got to invest.
Right.
Is there anything that I've been watching? I have not been to the movies. Are you going to see one of them days?
Oh, I did see it. We can actually talk about that. Actually, randomly, so last week, I had hit up Tiffany randomly and was just like, are you busy after work? Do you want to go see one of them days? Because I end up getting a $5 Fandango gift card. And so we did see it. Oh, we could talk about that. So, I ain't going to give no spoilers.
When did y'all go to the movies?
Friday, because I came to work. Or was it Thursday? Thursday, because Friday I went to game night.
Nobody called me?
It was super last minute, and I was like, I'm not even going to disrupt her situation. I was just like...
Allow me to say no.
Okay. I didn't know if you had to take Janae home. I was like, she might have to pick up Joshua. I literally was sitting at work, and I hit up Tiffany. I was like, what are you doing after work? And she was like, nothing. I was like, do you want to go to the movie? She was like, yeah. And it was like, okay, it starts at 5:30.
I'm clocking y'all.
I got you next time.
I just see what the tea is.
I just felt that that's inappropriate because you got stuff to do during the week. So I know she's single. She don't have no kids. So
I ain't concerned.
If she would have said she had something to do, I would have went by myself.
I don't feel away. No. So was it good?
All right, I got you. My bad. Yes, it was good. But this is what I wanted to tell you. So we went to Tyson's, to the Cinema Bistro in Tyson's too. Now, I've been there a couple of times and I've had pretty decent experiences, right? So I'm telling her, like, have you ever been here? She's like, no. I was like, oh, it's super cute. You could get food, da-da-da. Worst experience.
Really?
And I was so disappointed because I'm like, for y'all to be, if y'all not familiar, Tyson's 2 is like a second part of the mall where they have all the high-end stuff, designer stuff. So the movie theaters.
It's a galleria.
Right. So the movie theaters that's in there, I'm having high expectations because after I finished shopping at Tom Ford and Balenciaga,
yes, Neiman's
and I come in here and see a movie, y'all should be giving that kind of service,
yes.
right? Girl, the movie was skipping. Like, it was like somebody put in a disc and the disc had scratches on it. And then nobody said anything. And then, like, towards the end of, like, the last 20 minutes of the movie, so it had started, it was skipping from the beginning. Like, during the previews, it was like the previews were pausing. It was like it was buffering. And so I said, well, it's just the previews. And I asked my server, I said, are they going to fix that? She said, yeah, the IT guy's here. He's working on it. They're going to fix it. Watching the movie, everything's fine. Little hiccups here and there, but like nothing to be like, what's going on? But then, like, towards the middle of the movie, it literally just like freezes for like 30 seconds to a minute. And I was like, what the hell? So then they started it back, and then it was fine, and then it started freezing again. And I'm like, what the hell?
Give me my money back.
So one of the guys, it was a white guy. Like, we all just started looking around like, what the hell? So a white guy got up. He went and said something. And he came back. But he didn't tell us what they said. Tiffany was like, I'm going to go and see what's going on. So she was like, if you want a refund, they'll give you a refund. But it's nothing they can do. Like, the IT guy has tried troubleshooting it. And they can't figure out what the problem is. I said, well, are they going to at least make an announcement? And she was like, I asked them that, and they said they couldn't do that. So then the movie starts playing again. So we thinking like, okay, maybe they figured it out. Girl, it starts freezing again. So then I asked Tiffany, I'm like, do you want to just leave? And she was like, I kind of want to see how it ends. Like, we done sat.
Right, this whole
like,
time.
we more than halfway through.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, me too. I kind of want to see how it ends. So they turn on the lights. The movie freezes again. They turn on the lights. The server comes in. She lets us know. She's like, "Hey guys," and this was a Thursday at 5:30. So it was like maybe 10 people in there. So she's like, "Hey guys, I'm so sorry about everything that's going on. The best we can do is give y'all a refund. The IT tried to fix it. They can't figure out what's wrong. And we're probably just gonna end up shutting the theater down." So at this point, I'm thinking, are they going to finish? Like, is it going to finish playing? Because I did end up asking her, like, well, is the movie going to finish playing? She was like, I don't know, but I do know that they're going to shut the theater down. I'm like, well, they can't shut it down with us in it. So everybody was like, yeah, they wanted their refund. So she started issuing out refunds. When I get my receipt, I realized that the refund is just for the food. So I said, this is just for the food. Am I going to get a refund for my ticket? She was like, when you leave out, go to the front where they scan the tickets at, and they can give you a refund for the ticket up there. So I said, I'm definitely going up there to get my fucking money. So then I told Tiffany, I said, now, we had the option to go to AMC, but we didn't because their movie started at 6:55. And we was just literally had made these plans earlier that day and was going straight after work. So I looked at Tiffany and I said, AMC would never.
Would never.
I come, we trying to be high class.
Listen.
Doing
trying to be bourgeoisie.
And this is a service that we get. I was so disappointed. I couldn't believe that. But so I got my money back for the movie ticket. So it ended up being free at the end of the day. And the movie was good. I highly recommend it. Keke Palmer is just funny.
I love her.
She's just funny. She's so good and she's so funny. She's a great actress.
That's my spirit animal.
It just felt, you know how sometimes these little like comedy movies can feel corny. It didn't. You know what I'm saying? She just made it feel so natural. Yeah. So I love that. SZA did surprisingly well. I was shocked. It gave, like she could probably do this.
I thought she did theater though. I know she was definitely in dance and gymnastics.
Oh, maybe she did. I don't know. But she did really good. One thing about it, though, she was looking real thick. And I guess she's always been thick. But, like, she just looked thicker than normal.
SZA is a thick gal.
Yeah, it was giving.
And she ain't on tour. SZA is a thick gal.
It was giving, yeah.
Body yachty?
Yeah. I was like, but it was giving more than body. Like, it was giving like a little pudge.
Well, SZA is,
which is fine. Like, I'm not, ain't nothing against it, but like,
SZA is a gorgeous woman.
I was like, I didn't realize she was that thick. I don't like the fact that she's done so much work. Like seeing her in this movie, even though she is still cute, I'm just like, you was pretty before. Like you didn't have to do all of that. It's like the little Kim thing. Like you messing with your face and you don't have to.
Yeah.
So,
I think that like, because she did talk about like how, just that generation, that kid, that space of in time that they were in, because a lot of people in that generation, when they weren't feeling or look, they'll go to plastic surgery.
But it's really good. I recommend, if you just want something cute and fun to do with your girlfriends. I probably wouldn't take my man. I mean, I think maybe some guys would find it funny, but to me it seemed more like a chick flick kind of thing. But yes, it was really funny and you should see it.
I want to see that. I want to see, and I guess I'll just have to wait until it comes out on one of these apps. Gladiator with
oh yeah,
Denzel.
same. I wanted to see that too, but what came out this Wicked came out the same day, and we ended up going to see Wicked.
Yeah, I want to see Denzel. I ain't seen a thing, honey.
Really?
No, I have not been to the movies. I only been waiting for my shows to come back. Abbott done got renewed.
I'm not surprised. I had to go back because I was like, did I finish it? But I did.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, it's back.
Wait, this season is back?
Yeah.
Because it was only, 6 episodes?
Yeah, so it came,
they took a break.
They take their break and they come back in January. So, so there's a few shows that I watch. So everything is back. So Will Tent is back. What's the other one with the Caucasian lady? Now I can't think of it, but they all on my Hulu. Abbott is back. It starts with a P.
I didn't realize it was a new season of Ghost until I went on Peacock, and I was like, it's a new season.
Yeah, I was watching that. Now they said Paradise is good.
I heard.
They said Paradise is good. Oh, High Potential. The Rookie is back. I watched them. Will Tent. You know what I started watching? And it was good. But I have to watch it when I don't see anything else. It's called Sherlock. It's on BBC.
Sherlock. Is that with, oh gosh. Is that with, I think I watched it. Yes, I watched that.
Yes.
When it first came out, because it's old.
You know I be watching stuff old, and then I be like, I be binging it. This is when we having those snow days and stuff like that, and I was like, I just need something to watch. I started watching that, and that was cute. That was good.
When I don't have nothing else to watch, I watch Shrinking. But it's so funny. It's on Apple TV. Shrinking, it's good. It has Harrison Ford in it. It's good. It's funny.
I want to watch Paradise, but it only has like a couple episodes. And
I'll wait.
Yeah, and I need to see them all.
I'll wait. We just finished Penguin.
Okay.
Yeah. That was pretty good. If you into like the superhero stuff, that was actually pretty good.
Okay.
I think, is it Will Ferrell that plays Penguin?
I think so.
I believe he has an Oscar nomination for that. Yeah. It's like, you can't tell it's him.
A knob.
I heard.
Yeah.
I heard. Well, I mean, well deserving. So we'll see what happens with that. Yeah. What else?
I don't know if we got anything else to chit chat about.
We good. It's been an hour.
Has it been that time?
Was this another great episode?
This was another great episode. Make sure you
like, subscribe, hit the notification button, tell a friend, drop down in the comments.
And survive.
Period.
These next 4 years. Don't let it stress y'all out, y'all. You know, basketball season is coming up.
Okay, we got something to look forward to.
We got to go see LeBrons, and who else is out there? Just the Brons is who everybody talk about.
No, it's some other people. I don't know, y'all. Don't ask me no sports questions.
I'm only going to talk about the people I know.
I don't be sportsing.
Wizards do something. Mystics, we'll see you in the by and by when when y'all season come. I don't know.
Oh, happy Chinese New Year. Now let's get out of here.
Because you just saying anything now.
We gonna drink to that. Did I really say the by and by?